Okay, let's cook some black eyed peas, dehydrated version. Okay. This is China Doll. It's one of the better ones at the grocery store. I've been letting these sit for about 2 hours in water because you have to rehydrate them or they won't cook right. So I got my frying pan with a lid. You will need a pan with a lid no matter what it is. Just happens to be my favorite one. One piece of bacon, a little olive oil, and maybe a tablespoon of butter. You ain't really using the butter for the butter. It's just for a little extra taste. Nothing more. I will actually add about a tablespoon of garlic powder to this once they go in. But first, let's get this browned and get that good bacon juice in there, okay? Oh, I also got pork chops, thin pork chops sitting in seasoned flour. And the seasoning in here, y'all know how I do my seasoning. This is going into the air fryer. And what I do is that I added a little salt, a little pepper, a little chili powder, and mixed it into the flour. And I let my my meat marinate really in here. And then the flour will actually stick really good to it. And then it'll go into the air fryer. Now you're going to have to cook your bacon that you're getting ready for your black eyed peas on high because you want this bacon to, you want all the juice and all that oil from the bacon to just come on out. You can also do this with ham if you have just like an extra piece of ham or a ham hock, fatback, any type of meat like that. However, don't use pork chops, it don't work the same. So with my pork chops, I have them sit in there, and they've been in there for 15-20 minutes. I've had them sitting in there. I put Pam inside of my cooking thing. And what you do is you take them out, you shake them off really good, and sometimes you have to push these around to make room. And y'all know what I mean. And sometimes you can't fit all of them in there at one time, so you have to do it in different batches, which I ain't fine with. You know what I'm saying? So this one is going to be too big. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to come over here and take some more Pam, spray it on the top, because that's how you get the flour taste from the meat. Put them in your air fryer. Hit that, and then it has a steak button, and then just hit. And then you want to cook these for about 15 minutes on 400. Not a lot, but just a little bit. So now my black eyed peas are in here. Now this is from dehydrated, and we're going to put our temp up to 7. Alright, now this has already got about a teaspoon of salt because the bacon is salty, and then about a teaspoon and a half of garlic and black pepper, which I think I did about a large tablespoon of pepper, because we like pepper and you have to follow your heart with some seasoning. But be careful of adding the salt, because remember that bacon and that oil is going to be salty. And what you want to do, you want to boil these. You want to boil these for about an hour or so. You want to boil these for about an hour or so. Sorry, I had phone issues. And maybe a little bit more. And how you tell if these are done, you're going to take 1 or 2 out of here, let them cool off, and if you can easily pinch them and they smear in your hands, you know, in your fingertips, you know they are done. But if they are kind of crunchy feeling, if they don't easily smear, they're not done. Make sure when you get all your seasoning in there to keep this covered. Keep your peas covered at all times. Let them cook. You will have to add water periodically, because even though I soak them in water, they're still going to absorb water. So eventually you're going to have to keep them, and keep them stirred about every 10 minutes, because you don't want them sticking to the bottom of your pan. If you start getting stuck to the bottom of your pan, that means you scorched your peas, and you're going to have to throw them all away and start over. Let's talk making sweet tea. Everybody asks me about sweet tea. Okay, now you want to do about a half a pan of water to 3 bags. And you want to boil that for about, on a hard boil, for about 5 minutes. Once it comes to a hard boil, let it boil for about 5 minutes. Then you want to move it off the heat, let it sit for a minute, And then come on over. Okay. Hot water in your tea pitcher. Don't judge my tea pitcher. This thing's been in my family for hundreds of years. I don't know. It's old. That's all I know. And how I do my tea for family reunion tea is that you see that line? It's about a ½ inch of sugar in it. Now, when I get my tea mixed up, I will literally taste it, and if if it's not sweet, then I add more sugar. Okay? But let your tea boil on a heavy boil on high for 5 minutes. Set it to the side, and we'll take it from there, okay? And the reason I said to only let it boil for 5 minutes is because if you go any longer, your tea bags will burst and you'll have to start all over. You'll have to start this little process all over again because nobody wants to drink no loose little specks in tea. And you do want to stir your bags every so often to make sure they all get hot at the same time. Remember, high heat, mine only goes up to 10. When it comes to a really hard boil, let it boil for 5 minutes. Then turn it off, leave it alone for a second, and do what you gotta do, and then come back and finish it up. Now, as you can see, that my water is coming out of my beans. I'm gonna have to add more water, like I said. Now, when you very first start boiling them, you can add extra water because they're going to use it. It's gonna steam out. The peas will absorb it. But at first you can add. But now towards the end, don't add when they start. If these things cook for about 30 minutes, don't add no more water. Put it on low. Now you see my tea is boiling. I'm going to let it boil for a few more minutes and then I'm going to take it off the eye. I don't want my tea bags to swell up. And, okay, Google, stop. I don't want my tea bags to swell up and pop. Okay? So I just flipped my pork chops and I'm just waiting on them. They might have to cook a little longer because I noticed that the batter on them didn't get real brown. So I might have to cook them a little longer. So once my tea has settled, and I took it off the eye for about 5-6 minutes. You mix it all together and you keep stirring softly until all that sugar is dissolved into your tea. Now, however, at this point, you're done with tea. So all you got to do is either put it in the refrigerator and wait till it gets cold or pour it over ice. I pour mine over ice. And after I tasted the tea, mine was sweet enough so I didn't add any more tea. I'm pretty good at eyeballing that in that picture because I've used that picture for so long. So I also have in the oven what I call a poor man's casserole. It is potatoes, onion, peeled potatoes that I peeled myself, onions, sour cream, garlic, pepper, salt, and onion powder, all mixed in together. And then I take Velveeta cheese and I layer it like a layer of cheese, then the mix, then another layer, and then the mix, and then the layer on top, and then I cook it. That's what I do. And I'll also add like a little milk to it. Just not a lot, just a little bit to give it, a little steam to cook everything. And it cooks on like 350 for like an hour and a half. Oh, and in the poor man's casserole, I also forgot to tell you that I actually added a bell pepper chopped up, a green bell pepper, because it gives it a little extra taste. So that's what's in the oven, and that's what's going on today. And yes, I know it's a little early for dinner time because it's just 1 o'clock p.m. my time, but my mom is 77 and she likes to eat early and snack the rest of the day, so that's why I cook early. So, and by the way, back to my mom and me cooking early. All her life, she's always cooked early if she was home, and my dad always, if my mom was working and he wasn't, he would cook, and he would start cooking like at 9 a.m. and just sit it in the stove, and that's how we grew up, was eating off of that. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and please share it. And if you get if I get a lot of views on it, like 10,000 plus, I'll make more and maybe go live. Who knows? I love you guys, and enjoy, and I hope this helps somebody. Y'all have the best day ever. I'll see you soon.